Why do some people research a decision for hours and still can't choose? Meet the overthinker, not lazy, not indecisive by choice, just stuck. They'll compare 10 restaurants, read every review, then order the same thing they always do, or spend 3 weeks deciding on a job offer until the offer disappears. This isn't a personality quirk. It's a specific loop happening inside the brain. So what's actually going on when someone can't pull the trigger on a simple choice? Every time you make a decision, your brain runs a hidden cost-benefit calculation. For most people, that calculation finishes fast. For overthinkers, it never fully closes. Because the fear isn't picking wrong. It's regretting the choice afterward. Regret hits harder than failure, so the brain avoids the finish line entirely. Psychologists call this analysis paralysis. Gathering more and more information, but never quite enough to feel safe. There's a trait linked to this: high conscientiousness mixed with high anxiety. That combo makes people care deeply about getting it right and terrified of getting it wrong. Here's the twist. Your amygdala can't tell the difference between a lion and a lunch menu. Both get flagged as threats. Both trigger the same stress response. Racing heart, tight chest, a brain that won't stop spinning. So the overthinker isn't overreacting. Their body genuinely believes something is at stake. Now add perfectionism to the mix. Perfectionists don't see good enough as an option, only right or wrong. So they keep searching for an option that doesn't actually exist, the risk-free choice. There's even a name for this: the paradox of choice. The more options you have, the harder it becomes to commit to any of them. Psychologist Barry Schwartz found that more choice often leads to less satisfaction, not more. Because with every option you didn't pick comes a tiny, nagging what if. And there's a biological limit to this too. Your brain's decision-making center, the prefrontal cortex, gets tired, just like a muscle. Scientists call it decision fatigue. The more choices you make, the worse your later ones get. So overthinkers stall early to protect the energy for decisions still to come. But here's where it gets personal. A lot of chronic overthinkers grew up in homes where mistakes were punished hard. One wrong answer, one bad grade, one "why would you do that?" So the nervous system learned an early lesson. Certainty equals safety. Uncertainty equals danger. Which means overthinking isn't really about the decision at all. It's a childhood survival strategy, still running in an adult body. And here's the cruel irony. Not deciding is still a decision, usually the worst one available. The job offer expires. The apartment gets rented. The moment passes. And it's not just big decisions. It shows up in the small ones too. What to wear, what to text back, which show to watch. Each one triggers the same tiny alarm bell, which is exhausting because the brain treats 100 small choices like 100 small threats. Over time, that adds up to real, measurable mental fatigue. So what's the real truth behind all this overthinking? It was never about the decision itself. It's about protecting an identity, the identity of someone who doesn't make mistakes. Every unmade decision keeps that identity safe a little longer, and it traces back further than childhood, all the way to survival instinct. Ancestors who hesitated before eating an unfamiliar berry sometimes lived. The ones who didn't hesitate sometimes didn't. That hesitation circuit kept us alive for thousands of years. The problem? It never got the update. So today, it fires just as hard over a job application as it once did over a poisonous plant. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running ancient software on a modern problem. So the next time you're stuck between two options for way too long, it's not a flaw. It's an old alarm system, still doing its job. What's something you've been overthinking lately? Tell me below.